Okay, so I'm back and we got everything all mixed up. All the ingredients are in. We used a blender. We blended everything together. Now this is a problem. After you finish blending everything together, your blender is going to look like this. So carefully put it partially in the bowl. Put it on low. Kind of put your hand to shield the bowl so that it doesn't fly out all over everywhere, to try to clean out the beaters, okay? Now what you can do is you can take your time and you get a little plastic spatula and you can clean it out individually so it doesn't fly all over the place, but I'm not going to do that. Nothing fancy here, nice and simple. So, I got as much of it out as I could, okay? Let me show you the mix. This is what we have in the bowl. This is our dough for our bread. Because we use the Betty Crocker rice flour blend, we don't have to put yeast in and wait for it to rise and all that good stuff. Because you know, girls, we get really busy and we don't want to spend hours and hours in the kitchen. But when our man sits at the table, we want him to think that we did. Alright, so this is our flour blend. That is everything. Now, you're going to get you a loaf pan. I'm going to use my red silicone loaf pan. You can use a metal pan. You can use a tin foil pan. You can use a glass pan. You can use any kind of loaf pan you want to use. But you got to be very careful with the temperature of your stove because glass pans cook faster, okay? I'm using my red silicone, red for love, and I'm making this bread because I love my man and I want him to love me. So I have my pan. I'm going to take a little bit of virgin olive oil and pour it in my pan. Not a lot, just a little bit to cover a little section. And then I'm going to grab a paper towel and I'm just going to wipe it all over the bottom of the pan. Not the sides, okay? Just the bottom of the pan. There we go. So, you might have cooking spray, you know. Do your thing. Me? This is what I have in the kitchen right now, and this is supposed to be stress-less and full of love. So I don't want to run out and go buy things to do it. It's ordinary things that you have in the house if you're on a gluten-free diet. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the dough from the bowl in a ball, okay? And we are going to take the ball and put it in the loaf pan. Spread it out with your hands. Just spread it out in the loaf pan. Nothing fancy. Just spread it just to make sure it gets close to every edge, every end. Okay. Gets a little messy. Try not to get it on the sides of the pan because you want a nice formed loaf of bread. Alright. Nothing else, nothing fancy you have to do. Alright, so I'm just going to pick it up. This is what it looks like. Now it's going to go in the oven. The entire time I've been doing this, the oven has been preheating at 350. Talk to you in a minute.